Okay, so maybe we can start now because it's 2 already. Yeah.
Okay.
So I will just, as before, I will just give the short introduction right now, and then we will go straight to the Emanuela's presentation. So good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely Monday. So my name is Sara Vukotic, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the fifth and the final session of this academic year's online seminar series organized by the Research Center for Humanities at the University of Nova Gorica. Over the past sessions, we have explored a range of topics, as you probably remember, so including the relation of different media in the context of a poetry book, the interplay between literature and politics, as well as literature and digital media, and today's presentation brings yet another perspective to our ongoing conversations. So today we welcome Emanuela San Giorgio, a PhD student in cultural anthropology at the University of Basilicata. In her presentation, she will share her ongoing research on the dynamics of memory, heritage making, and the cultural significance of sites marked by historical trauma. So her work invites us to consider how collective memory is shaped through the ways or cultures preserve and assign value to their traditions, and what role anthropology and ethnography play in understanding the afterlives of such stories. So as in our previous sessions, we'll stick to a familiar format. Our guests will start with a 20-minute presentation, and then we'll go straight to the discussion. And as we already have the shared presentation, yes, okay, so now I give the word to Emanuela. Emanuela, thank you for being here with us today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thanks for this opportunity to talk about my research. It is the first time that I have more than 10 minutes, but unfortunately, I will speak in English that is not so comfortable for me, but I will try my best. I apologize in advance for my limited English. As Sarah rightly announced, my research is an anthropological study, focused in particular on the topics of memory and cultural heritage, and is based on, it starts from an ethnographical analysis of a particular place that is called Camp 65. Actually, not. Oh my God, don't work. Sorry, I will try again. Oh, I can't move my present. Okay, all right. This actually not everybody are agree in. Not everybody agrees to call this place Camp 65. There is an ongoing debate and quite a conflict, but this is not the only one conflict about this camp. So I will simply refer to it as camp in this presentation. As you can see, the place is an old place that was abandoned for a long time, for many years, and it was built in 1940 to be a prisoner camp. And it is located in southern Italy, between Altamura and Gravina, that are two small cities in Puglia region. Now, just a few buildings remain of this place, but his area is very impressive because it is 31 hectares large, and it is composed in mainly part from countrysides. And this place, the camp, was mainly used between the 1940 and 1963, and it was a prisoner camp for Allied soldiers captured in North Africa by the Italian fascist army during the Second World War. And Then under the Allied control, it was trainer refugees, trainer camp for partisans that fought Nazi fascists in the area of former Yugoslavia. And then it was a refugees camp between 1950s and 1963. Then was abandoned, quite almost abandoned. What was the first thing that struck me about this place as an anthropologist was its rediscovery. In fact, after many years of neglect and forgetfulness, in which almost nobody knew about what it had been, in the 2019, it was rediscovery and start a movement of great interest in this place, involving citizens, associations, but also institutions. Since the memory and cultural heritage, it is become more democratic, the object available to everyone, such as so-called heritage community or local communities. What is important what became important for anthropologists? It's no longer so much the heritage themselves, but rather the process of patrimonialization. This process is the set of people, actions, and meanings that are activated around some places or things or stories that are considered important for some reason. So I focus a lot in this process. I study the relationships of this process, in particular, for example, the relation between people and things and places, but also between people and the time, the present, the past, and the future. As you can see, I made like a participant observation, and the community is very, very active. But what was so interesting in this observation is the camp themselves, because it is what is special in this place is that the camp don't lend itself to an easy celebration of the past, and it can definitely can be called as a difficult heritage. This for is layered story, for is marginal stories, because unfortunately the protagonists of the story are historically marginal, such as prisoner, partisan, and refugees as well. And then because each story is linked with other more general story, more big story that in Italy are not well known, sometimes unknown, totally unknown, and also controversial, such as Italian colonization, or also the Italian defeat in the Second World War. And we also thought that because it was a place undergoing rediscovery, we could not only study the patrimonialization, but also participate in it. And this is quite obvious in anthropology because it is widely used and well known, the observation of participant observation that allow to be internal and external to the observed phenomena. But there is also a critical approach to the heritage, so it is not taken for granted be a part. Sometimes patrimonialization can be considered detrimental for the vitality of the heritage, or also for people that are connected to it. But in our case, we thought we had the right research tools to participate in the valorization of the place, especially in the collection of the memories. So I start to search memory everywhere, to among every people, among local population, and also refugees and their relatives. But I found a lot of very nice story. I was quite impressive of the beautifulness. I don't know. But the things didn't go so smoothly, because an issue emerged from the field and show me the complexity of memory, and the tangle that it form with history, that it have with history, politics, and cultural heritage. It happens that a group of national and local both associations start to ask to municipality of Altamura for make a plaque, a plaque in the camp in memory of Eastern Julian Dalmatian exodus. This is the way in which is called in Italy the displacement population from Upper Adriatic area after the definition of new border between Yugoslavia and Italy, or Italy and Yugoslavia, after Second World War. And these refugees actually went host in this camp when it was a refugee center. But they finally affixed the plaque. But in the meantime, it was not so easy to apply this, because this proposal was not welcomed by all people that were patrimonializing the camp, and was born a little conflict and concern, because for some reason, mainly two are that many people wants to apply a plaque that contains all the phases of the campus. But above all, the problem was that this memory was expressed by the promoter association by a strong identity and the nationalist message. So I thought that this issue of the plaque, this conflict, could be a very important point for a deep understand the place, the camp, and also investigate in a deep way the case study, because first it connect together our two main topics the topics that we choose to observe through our participant, our both internal and external position. But also this issue forced us to think about another possible role, the role of mediation in the conflict. This role scared me a lot, but I understand that I will not, but I imagine this role not by thinking about diplomatic action, but by trying to think how our research could position itself in this conflict. And obviously, I imagine that I would not be able to give an easy solution, but rather that I will go to share the tangle. Sorry for this metaphoric, but I have a connection with this imagine. The tangle between memory, history, and politics, but also the tangle formed by persons that were patrimonializing the people that were patrimonializing the place, included me, and the tangle about the issue of the exodus, because in this issue. Looks like the identity and the national message seems to be intrinsic and unescapable. So so I try to I research a lot in the degree of memory, from personal to public memory, and so this. But I found that this was not something straight. I found that the personal memory and family memory and collective made a zigzag inside. But what helped me in staying in this tangle, a kind of autocriticism inside of historiography of Upper Adriatic history, historiography in issue of Upper Adriatic. Because I found that some historians underline that they too often taking granted some identity and some identity categories, in particular in ethnic and national aspect. In ethnic and national identity. And through Pamela Ballinger's studies, I discovered that when after the Second World, Italian government had to host and welcome refugees and had to distinguish between Italian refugees and foreign refugees, it was not so easy, not natural. Instead, there was a debate between governments, people, and also refugees themselves for understand something about this identity, especially because they were coming from an area, a border area, therefore mixed area, and also from area of colonization, in which before the war there were a lot of kind of different gradation of citizenships. So it was very difficult. With this new point of view category, I decided to go to the archive. I don't plan before. I haven't planned before to go into the archive because there was already a historical reconstruction of about the camp. But I thought that because this reconstruction was most focused focusing in the functioning of the place, maybe I will integrate this study with my point of view, with a new point of view in the focus in the identity of people. And I found that that in the camp there were not just Italian, just Istrian, Dalmatia, Julian refugees, but also refugees considered foreigner, um, foreigner, and 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 these were hosted in a foreigner center between 1966 to 1956 and 1959. And there were from East Europe, but most of all are from all former Yugoslavia. And their story it cannot be related to the issue of the border or something about ethnic national identity or related, and it cannot be totally related to the Second World War. So I found the most marginal story in the most marginal story of and I found a lot of material about these refugees, and I'm doing a kind of reconstruction of their stories, focusing in particular in the issue in identity issue, in gender issue, and about their work and movement. And it is very interesting because I found connection with the memory of the local population and also the live or local population. Stretna Nova Godina, Godina. I also trying to understand a little bit of Slovenian. Now I'm here, and I'm very happy. And I'm trying to find another part of the story of refugees that were in the camp, but also I'm trying to feel this territory with this so heavy and but very interesting story, and I want to discover how they share this memory in this territory for help a better future for us, for the camp maybe, and people that are patrimonializing the place. That's all.
Thank you, Manuela, so much. Very interesting presentation, also the topic, and I know because we were talking a little more in private, right? So very, very interesting topic. And now I would like to see if anybody has any questions maybe for Emanuela. Maybe write in a comment or raise a hand if you have. Maybe I can start with one because I have that fieldwork perspective and bottom-up perspective in my own experience, in my previous research. So maybe because you were saying you were researching memories and heritage making and local individual stories. So maybe you could tell us a bit more about your fieldwork approach. So how do you navigate the emotional or some ethical complexities when working with sites marked by historical trauma, as you said? So maybe a bit more about the stories you already collected. What do they tell to you at this point?
I have to start with something not so scientific, like that I'm crying every time in the in the in both place, in the archive and in the field with the people. I about interview I with people, local people and refugees and their relatives. I had to do something special, like go with their go in countrysides to see I had to join them in their comfortable place, and so my recording of the interview are are not. It is impossible show to somebody else this interview because because we every time are in a strange place. I'm I think about more ethical issue. For me, people have are the most important. I love my research and I love anthropology, and I feel very I feel in debit with the anthropology because because other research are so important for my life, but people are the most important. So when I found something, I discovered something that can be not so good for them, I stop. It's happened that I found something specific about in the file in the file in the archive. I found some people that are still alive, and I close in immediately, and I call the relative, and I say, okay, I found this. What I have to do, I don't know. And then shortly, looking their happiness, I I I go. I continues. I'm sorry, my English is very bad. Rather than improve Slovenian, I have to improve my English. But thank you for this opportunity to start this process.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions maybe now for Emanuela?
Hi, Emanuela.
Hi.
I would like to know whether you will concentrate only on the memories of the place after the Second World War, or also during the Second World War when this place functioned as a concentration camp, as I understand you.
Thank you, Professor. Because this is very central point. First, because we thought, okay, it is the most recent phase. So, as an anthropologist, that being much more interest in a present, maybe we will find something that is more actual. But also because there is an association that are patrimonializing and valorizing and an association that is doing a research about the prisoner camp with a lot of successful and because as a scientist, but even if I am a scientist, I am not. I can't monopolize and have much more power in this camp. But everyone can be scientists in this more democratic process. I leave this phase of the camp to this association.
No, Emanuela, I asked you that because if you speak about Esoli, then you have to, then you have to connect the story with the Second World War, You can't speak only about Esoli without knowing the history of that, what happened before. That's why maybe a suggestion for you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I thought it was, yes, I actually study a lot about this story, this history. So I'm doing this. I'm doing this connection with even in the earlier story, and staying here helped me a lot in this study of past history.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have one more question in the chat from Dark Willin. So he says, grazie mille, Emanuela, thank you very much for such a lovely presentation that provided us with a lot to think about. You mentioned that the material you found in the archive or during the fieldwork, I did not understand completely, is interesting from the point of view of gender. Can you just give us some of your preliminary findings and interpretations in the sense why and how is gender important in your analysis?
Refugees had to ask for a license for go away from the center for sleep some night out of the center. So I found a lot of asking for lessons made from women and less from men. So this means that I found more material about women and less about men, because men usually work in agriculture, so can still remain in the center or in the night for the night. Instead, the woman find a job in a house job, in a housework. So they have to ask for go in this in this house and help with children, with housework. So the woman are the. So I found so much about women, and also there is and also I found a fragility of woman, because as I see, marginality is there is a degree of marginality, and of course the women refugees were much more come si dice? Fragile of men.
Thank
There
you.
is the okay.
If you had something more to say, continue. If not, thank you very much.
No, I can't, because every word I say is a trappola for me.
You're doing great. Great. Thank you, Darko, for your question, and Emanuela for
Thank
your
you very
answer.
much for the question.
Anybody else, maybe?
I just want to say that I will take a lot of I will take in my thesis a lot of space about this issue of gender, but now I haven't worked because of English, and also because it is something very important and delicate, and I will take some time for thinking about. And also this is what I want to search in Nova Gorica and Gorica. I don't know if I will have time, but
Thank you very much for your answer, and I really look forward to reading that in your thesis.
thank you.
Okay, so if we don't have any more questions, we can maybe slowly go towards the conclusion of this seminar session. So once again, Emanuela, thank you very much for being here today with us and for presenting your research so far that you did. Also to all the others, thank you for attending and participating in this seminar series. And I hope you had a great time every session, and that we will maybe see again next academic year.